Yesterday was Tesla's 2023 Investor Day, and there was a clip about an hour into the video. That was really my favorite part of the presentation, and there were a lot of beautiful moments and details that I might cover on another day. But this is basically Franz, the chief designer of Tesla vehicles, and someone else talking about how Toyota has disassembled one of Tesla Model Y, and Toyota senior engineers called Tesla assembles the Model Y an engineering work of art. Franz and the other technology leader at Tesla here point out that it's a nice compliment, but Tesla is not satisfied. They're gonna take this a step further, and to me this points out how far ahead Tesla is and how far behind the competition really is. And so let's watch the clip.
The traditional way of making a vehicle is this. You stamp it, build a body in white, you paint it, and you do final assembly. And what's interesting is these shops are dictated by the organizational structures that exist. And they're dictated by the boundaries that exist in the factories that are laid out. If something goes wrong in final assembly, you block the whole line, and you end up with buffering in between. This is at the tail end of its manufacturing optimization. Henry Ford first invented this assembly line in 1922. It's been 100 years, and it's really hard to make a change after 100 years. And when you watch it happen, it's actually really silly to a guy like me. You take all these stamp panels, you put them together, then you put them in a framing station, you build a body that looks something like a car, you put the doors on, and then you paint them. Once you get the color, you take the doors off, and then you start putting the interior inside the car. It comes in through the openings that already exist. I wish it went in like this big piece like this, but there's actually people coming in and out of the car. There's awkward movements. Then we lift the car up, we put stuff from underneath it, we put it down, then we put the seats in the car, and finally we close it all out with glass and we bring those doors that went away for a trip and we put them back in the car. Most of the time, we're doing this with a big giant car and moving it and doing really nothing to it at all.
What's funny, though, in this kind of whole process is that just recently Toyota just called this an engineering work of art.
True.
The Model Y.
That was humbling, but at Tesla, it's not good enough. If we're going to scale the way we want to do, we have to rethink manufacturing again. It's part of the master plan. We have to make another step change in cost.
So did you pay attention? Again, if you don't understand, rewatch it again, and maybe watch the full Investor Day 2023 video. Might take a while, but if you want to understand it, you have to be willing to learn and know what you don't know. So again, Tesla basically assembles the body frame of this vehicle. They stamp all the parts, put them together, then they paint it, and then they deassemble it to put all the interior, all the seats, the batteries, the wires, etc. in them. And then they put the outer panels back on again. And throughout the factory, you basically have all these moving parts, most of the time doing nothing. How Tesla will do this differently, they will make all these sub-assemblies to basically make the rear end of the car, front end of the car, the sides, the floor, the seats, etc. And basically they will have all these sub-assemblies and put them together in final assembly in parallel and serial mode. So whenever you have obstruction, you can take that piece out for a little bit and continue basically manufacturing. At least that was my understanding from it. I hope you learned from this, and I look forward to your thoughts, and I might share some other insights from this Investor Day. I love you, dear stranger.